What up, people of all kinds, Scorching here, and today we're looking at two of the biggest names in prog metal, Dream Theater and Tool. These are two bands that, despite being in the same genre and sort of going for similar things, are completely different in their sound and their execution. Dream Theater is very much a band about musicianship and sort of showing how good these members are at each of their instruments. You know, every band member here would likely appear on a top 10 list for their set instrument, except for maybe James LeBray. Like, he's a good vocalist, but I and a lot of other people don't actually like his vocals that much. It's just a personal thing for me. I don't know, like, it gets a little bit cringy when he goes, like, really high. I don't know, it's just, he's not that good at letting off screams, to be honest, although he did let off some pretty impressive screams on the song The Walking Shadow from their last album, The Astonishing. But when you compare it to Tool's James Keenan, there's really no question about who's the better singer, or at least in terms of who has the better voice. Because technically I feel like James is a technically better singer, like he can do more with his voice maybe, but I just don't like the sound of his voice, whereas listening to James Keenan's voice, you can just listen to that voice all day. It's such a powerful voice. I mean, Dream Theater lets off some really impressive solos, and even comes up with these really great riffs a lot of the time. But sometimes I do feel like they sacrifice their riffs in reward for like some weird odd time signature thing or something like that. Whereas Tool are able to kind of mix the odd time signatures with the main riffs. Just look at songs like Schism or Vicarious, where they very much make an odd time signature riff that fits that time signature. But of course, both bands can also make the odd time signature be purposefully discomforting when they want to. But they kind of do different things with it. I feel like when Tool do it, they're kind of just doing it to purposely be really weird and disorienting, whereas Dream Theater kind of use it to make a very chaotic feeling, which kind of goes hand in hand with when they're going crazy on the keyboards and the guitars with John Petruski and Jordan Rudess. You know, it works really well. But I like how Tool can be so reserved and just not necessarily show off and be like, yeah, we're the best musicians in the world, guys. You know, they don't need to cram every odd time signature and guitar solo and keyboard part down your throat like Dream Theater do. Yeah, you like that guitar solo, don't you? I'm a good guitarist, aren't I? Yeah. Which, you know, when Dream Theater do their solos, they're great and they're impressive, but it kind of feels like they're showing off what we already know is true. We can tell that they're perfectly good musicians. Oh, I can't handle this! And stuff. But it can sometimes come off as a bit pretentious and kind of feels like they're trying to outdo each other, like they're competing with each other. Which is obviously not what they've done, because they've obviously sat down and planned each song perfectly to get it right. Otherwise, the odd time signatures parts wouldn't really work at all. They'd just get really messy. Yeah, it's impressive, but you know, maybe it'd sound better if you just took a step back, maybe didn't be, you know, like trying to shove it down our throats, and actually kind of looked at it in a different manner, the simpler manner, and, you know, just made something that's more digestible. Maybe that way more of your songs would sound you know, different from one another. Although that's not really a problem that I have with Dream Theater. You know, all their songs kind of really do feel unique, and I like it when a band can do that. They can have a great sound, a defined sound, but they can switch things up. They can have ballad songs, they can have heavy songs, they can have everything in between. You know, Dream Theater can do that. That's something that Tool can't really do. You know, they wouldn't really get away if Tool just showed up and said, you know what, here's a ballad. You know, I'm trying to imagine how that would sound. You know, all their songs kind of have a specific tone to them. And I'm not really saying that I want to hear a Tool ballad. I'm kind of happy with what they've done. You know, I love Tool's sound. I love Dream Theater's sound, of course, but Tool's sound is already unique enough on its own that it can get away with just kind of sounding maybe a little bit similar between across entire albums, but each song still feels individually unique to each other, regardless of some reoccurring tropes that you see on some of their songs. Because Dream Theater has Jordan Rudess to kind of, I feel like he really contributes to the Dream Theater sound a lot, because you can get a lot of different sounds out of a keyboard. Something as simple as that. There's just so many different sounds that come out of it. And includes things like strings, even though I'm pretty sure they record their strings like live instead. But when you compare that to Tool, Tool doesn't even use strings really. They're very much about the guitar and the bass. And while John Mayung is a phenomenal bassist, I feel like Tool's bass is just, it's more noticeable. It's louder, it's heavier, and sometimes it's hard to even distinguish the guitar from the bass to know which one's which, just because Tool does so much with that bass, and the bass sounds really unique. It really helps define their sound. So that's one big thing that is a plus in Tool's book. But there's also Danny Carey, despite he's not just a great drummer, but he's also a great percussionist. He uses tribal drums, tribal sounding drums at least, and little chimes in between songs, and stuff like that just kind of helps lift the Tool sound from just being what it already was, with just a guitar and a bass and drums, and of course James Keenan's voice, which are already great. But just them little things in between tracks that you get, like the chimes, stuff like that, and the drums, the tribal drums, they just really help create a unique sound that you don't really hear in any other bands. Anyway, let's talk about lyrics quickly. I'm just gonna be honest and say that I don't really like Dream Theater lyrics that much. I feel like they're just not as proggy as they should be, if that makes any sense. I feel like Dream Theater lyrics are at their best when they're actually telling a story, which is probably one of my main reasons why this, Scenes from My Memory, Metropolis Part 2, is one of the best albums of all time. Mainly because, the story is what helps the lyrics, but when there's no really story present, like on this album, their self-titled album, the songs, they don't have a sort of flow, and it starts to feel like it's a song after a song after a song, as opposed to an album full of songs that are all connected. And the lyrics, that means that the lyrics aren't really as meaningful. They don't serve a purpose as much, and it's kind of that like radio rock kind of lyrics where they're like really vague to the point where they're relatable or whatever. But it doesn't address anything too specific sometimes. And with a band like Dream Theater, who have the ability to tell great stories through songs or just through full albums, it feels kind of disappointing whenever you get a song that's just kind of about something really simple and really kind of bland sometimes. But then when you look at Tool lyrics, it's just... Oh. This is where Tool gets really weird. I mean, you got songs, just look at the names of some of their songs. You got like Prison Sex, Lateralis, Mantra, or whatever, like just weird. And the lyrics that are contained within these songs are even weirder, because look at Vicarious, it's like, I want to watch things die. It's really out there on purpose, and it's almost counterculture. But I also love how there's so much that you can speculate with Tool lyrics. It's very open to interpretation. There's a lot of creativity that just has underlying messages upon underlying messages, like underlying messages inception. And that stuff's just really clever, honestly. I feel like Dream Theater lyrics just kind of spell things out to you, or just really vague and don't really feel like they're meaning much. If you look at a song like These Walls, while I really like that song, the lyrics, while you can just listen to them and be like, oh yeah, this is a song about being trapped. Whereas if you listen to a Tool song, listen to 46 and 2, you're like, what the fudge is this song about? So the thing is, I feel like Tool is actually the better band. However, and this is a big however, Dream Theater are just more enjoyable. Like I say, there's larger variety of sounds and styles that you can kind of grit your teeth into. Albums like Octavarium and the self-titled record, while yes, they're kind of weak lyrically, in my opinion, a lot of the time. You know, musically, there's just so much on offer. There's just so much to love about it. And yes, I love Tool's sound. I love Dream Theater's sound as well, though. So, and it's kind of a tie, honestly. I feel like Tool is the better band, but Dream Theater is just a bit more enjoyable. It's kind of fun. It has personality. Of course, this is all just my opinion. Who's the better band, Tool or Dream Theater? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more, please suggest other sort of similar bands that I should maybe compare and contrast. Bands that might have a similar style or similar goals maybe, or a similar execution in whatever they do. So please subscribe, like, comment, and stick around for more. And I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta!